gift to welcome him. Doors opened. A pot of boiling water fell from the ceiling. Stunned, all students showed the 8th emoji on your phone.
邊個諗條屎橋咁挖Sir啊？唔想上我堂啊？
It turns out the new teacher was a Special Forces soldier of the United States Navy SEALs. Skilled not only in marksmanship but also in kung fu. Nowadays, he has retired and chosen to return to the school to become an ordinary teacher, but he was assigned to the most difficult class in the school. It is said that 888 teachers had already been scared away by this class. In his eyes, they're just a bunch of kids.
開學日唔好遲到。
He certainly wasn't afraid. Early in the morning, he walked into the classroom with a cup of coffee and found students playing games, playing instruments, sleeping, and even cooking. But no one was ready for class. He walked to the boy who was sleeping.
Good morning!
Then, he wrote his Chinese name on the blackboard, Chen Xia, preparing to introduce himself. The students are all laughing behind his back, saying his Chinese writing looks like chicken scratch. Suddenly, Chen Xia received a phone call.
喂，
He turned around and saw. Without a word, Chen Xia picked up a rubber band and a piece of chalk from the podium. Then he squinted his eyes. And took aim. The group of brats was instantly soaked like drowned rats.
各位同學 ，Welcome to my class.
The first round of the battle between the teacher and the students ended with Chen Xia's complete victory. The students, unwilling to accept defeat, gathered together to discuss how to take revenge. The next day, Chen Xia came again. Seeing the students weren't paying attention at all, he tried a different approach. He announced that anyone who could answer 3 of his questions correctly could leave the class and go play wherever they wanted. Knowing that the boy loved to smoke, Chen Xia asked him for a cigarette and raised the first question. What are the chemical components of a cigarette?
尼古丁、
仲有咧？
焦油
Any more？
同埋一氧化碳。
中。咁你就得喎。
The curly was shocked. Everyone thought the teacher was joking, but it turned out to be true. Seeing the curly bounce out of the classroom, the other students were eager to try as well. Next, Chen Xia asked the second and third questions. By the end of the class, the students not only understood the composition of cigarettes but also learned about the harm they cause. This scene was witnessed by an education bureau leader who was inspecting the school. He sneered at Chen Xia's teaching method. Believing that getting high scores was the most important thing, he even threatened the principal if the students' test scores were too low. The school would be shut down. But Chen Xia didn't care at all. He believed good education is about making students happy to learn, actively think, and ask questions. Outside of class, he also cares about the students' personal lives. He will pay out of his own pocket to help improve the lives of students from families in difficulty. For those with strained father-daughter relationships, he would specifically arrange racing games to help them express their love for each other and resolve their issues. When a student was bullied by thugs in the mafia, being forced to drink drugged water, he directly intervened.
Gentlemen, sorry for interrupting. I'm looking for my student, a young man, Mei Wei Chong. He's about this height, 16 years old.
The burly man across from him was a UFC fighter. Looking at this skinny Chinese man, he mocked him as a weakling and advised him to obediently leave. The student cried out. Chen Xia stepped forward but was blocked by a group of muscle men. He then turned his head and grabbed the toothbrush from the man's mouth. With a light tap, it was transformed into a new kind of weapon. The student in the cabinet was stunned.
smoke? Come and get some.
The boxing champion on the side couldn't stand it anymore. He took off his shirt and charged forward, attempting to challenge Chinese kung fu. In the end, even the strongest fighter was knocked down by him.
Call an ambulance!
Chen Xia's heroic deeds were reported on TV. It was only then the students learned this new teacher was not only a former Special Forces soldier but also a big brother at the school. However, he was not a good student but a troublemaker at that time. He had broken the nose off the principal's statue. In 1 year, he even ruined the entire graduation ceremony. The boy was playing the piano in the graduation ceremony. The boy chased after him. He picked up a broom to strike, but Chen Xia broke it with a kick. The boy was not to be outdone, but Chen Xia grabbed his tie, punched him several times, and kicked him. The principal's statue fell and landed right on the boy's hand. From then on, the boy could never play the piano again. Chen Xia was also expelled from the school. However, the principal still wanted to give him another chance and wrote him a recommendation letter to a military school in the United States.
過到美國，乖乖地，唔好咁曳啊！ You can do it.
After arriving in the United States and joining the military, Chen Xia realized that war could not bring happiness. It only involved relentless destruction and the loss of humanity. So, he retired and traveled the world to find the true meaning of life until one day he received a postcard from the principal. He decided to return to the school to become a teacher and nurture the next generation. After learning about Mr. Chen Xia's adventures, the students' attitudes towards him changed dramatically.
Good morning.
陳 Sir!
Good morning, 校長。
早晨。
陳 Sir!
Morning.
Even his colleague was eager to invite him to meals. Chen Xia walked into the classroom, where he was greeted with an extraordinary welcome. Chen Xia smiled, told the students to sit down, and asked who gave him the apple on the desk. At this moment, the beautiful teacher from the neighboring class appeared.
個蘋果係我請返你食㗎。Bye.
Chen Xia took a bite of the apple, and the students cheered below. The atmosphere was fantastic. In the following year, the students happily attended classes and studied hard, looking forward to getting good grades in the college entrance examination to achieve their dreams. However, on the day of the exam, a gang leader brought a group to the school to cause trouble, locking the students inside and preventing them from taking the test, just when the students were at a loss.
學校唔准食煙啊！
Chen Xia appeared. Chen Xia fought the thugs while urging the students to hurry to the exam. But the gang leader showed up. The leader pointed hand, urging him to think carefully. It turned out the gang leader was the little boy who played the piano at the graduations. He had come for revenge. Seeing he couldn't win, the leader resorted to dishonorable tactics. Out a Chen Xia turned the tables, seizing the gang leader's knife. Just when up, he aimed the knife at his own thigh. Hanging the death years ago. Before leaving, he told the gang leader,
都想問你，我知我欠你一句説話，對唔住。
At this moment, a wail of anguish came.
我真係好中意彈琴㗎。
Child, one might do foolish things. Teenage rebellion to you could be a lifetime of hope. Everyone can be kinder and we can have less bullying in schools.